Good evening, normal men. It's the CM0102 Super League, Season 13, Game Week 9. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Tato, Ian, Mr. Kim Jong-un, Chris McLaughlin's back in the building. Wayne Catlin, good evening, everyone. Savage. Tonight, hopefully I've got two guests in the studio if everything goes well. The first man is here already. He is the creator of the Geek League. It's Mega Horse himself. Good evening, Danny. You there?
Hello.
How are?
Good evening.
How are you,
nice
sir?
to be here. Yes, yeah. It's a rarity that I can get on with a non-functioning sleeper. He'll probably wake up in about 2 minutes, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah, best of luck with that. Hopefully you can stick around for the whole show. We should have Bob Wooder joining us after the Liverpool match. I don't know why he's bothering to watch it, but he's obviously a loyal fan. He wants to see the end of that. So, yeah, hopefully Wooder will be joining us in 10, 15 minutes. So, so let's crack on. Tonight's fixtures, Dan. Anything in particular you are looking forward to seeing?
Always nice to see Vikings after my affiliation with those. It'd be interesting to see how Astor get on as well with their arrowless formation versus a usually gung-ho and entertaining Rob as well. So that's good. Dragons Badgers, superb. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Dragons Badgers. I'm looking forward to White Rose Haggis. Some good ones in there. The early kickoff derby as well with Vikings against the Celtics. That's where we're gonna start tonight's action when we get going in a second. In terms of the table, it's looking like this. If anyone doesn't know, I update the website every week. I think about 3 people look at it, but there you go. So
I was looking at the website as well.
Yeah, you looked at it, Dan.
Am I?
I think it's you, and I think Martin comments on it every now and again. But yeah, apart from that, that's about it, really.
I'm trying to work out if I'm jerky on screen or it's just on my own camera. I don't know.
I'm not sure, mate.
Made around a bit and see what happens.
If you jerky, it doesn't really matter. We can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear anyway.
I'm only jerking. There's no off on the end.
Right, tonight, Vikings are at home. They have not scored for a couple of games. A bit of a mixed bag of form. Obviously, you was involved with the Vikings last season. What have you made to their start so far and the squad is put together?
Well, apart from the twos, it's pretty binary, the scoreline. So, it's been entertaining there. Nice to see some reserves coming forward. Tim Howard. Who else? Marco Boda was due to come up and join the first team at one point. But Romeo, in and out the team, he's been okay so far. Probably I expected a bit better. But
I think he looks really good. Good little player there. He looks similar to kind of Hussein did on the last save for me. I think he could have a good season in him at least.
And Hussein did a very good job, didn't he, as well? So, yeah, I think Jens has continued in the kind of spirit it was played last season, and he's gradually making that team better and better.
Yeah, I think he started off with one of the, obviously probably the weakest or second weakest squad on paper, and he's definitely built something strong with your help, of course. Tonight he drops back the wingers to wing backs, and I quite like the look of it. What are your thoughts on how he looks in terms of the shape and the players involved?
Yeah, Duff's probably stronger there, to be honest. I think it'll make him a better player. I don't think it really affects Ho as to whether he's playing midfield or wing back. So that's good. I mean, a lot of talk about Robin. Is he better? Is he going to get any better? Probably a way to talk about it. But yeah, it'll be fine. He'll get better with age. I mean, I know the database and the ratings and all that, so he's not going to get much better. But
I think there's a potential ability issue there, but I think he will still be really effective. Even his attributes will still go up. Just something not quite right in the background. But I still think he's a really good player, and I think there'd be a few people still interested in him if he was made available as well. Neil Yelland, which is the Rocks, isn't it? Asking if he can go on later. The running order's just going across the bottom at the moment. So yeah, if anyone's got any issues with that, let me know. But I'm working to that unless anyone tells me differently.
So has Robin got a higher rating than Totti? Is the question there?
In terms of
7.
average rating,
I assume it must be average rating wise.
Yeah, Totti's not had a good start to the season so far, but I think he's influential. Maybe he's a bit bored of him, but
so we'll see how he gets on. But I'm pretty happy with the Vikings. They're mid-table as it is, and you can't really complain from that start to the season. So it's been good.
Right, who we got then? No, it's not done that. Vikings continue to game. Set piece of take has not been changed, but this is how Greavesy lines up for the Celtics tonight. He has gone to a flat 4-1-4-0-1, which, to be fair, looks very negative. What are your thoughts on the shape? I think it could still do well, but what are your thoughts?
The shape suits the players generally. I'd say Danielson needs to be a little bit further forward. Marcelinho, Carioca could probably be similar as well. I think they maybe, if they were to push up to attacking mid, I think it might actually suit the team better. But then again, it's not really in Greavesy's style to be too attacking, is it? Back four, I mean, yeah, Marcus Babble's probably better in the middle, but you're not going to be better than Lucio and Freda in there. Taibbi, and we all know Taibbi can let a team down once in every 20 games or so, but he's not
very
been
good since he's
not
come
been
in.
bad at all this season. He has one or two bad games a season, like horrendous games. But
yeah, I think this spine of the five in the middle and the keepers very, very strong. I think you could build a great team around that, and I'm guessing that's what Greasy will like to do. Although if he gets another full window at some point, either in the summer or later in the season, I'm sure he'll probably tear most of this up.
Yeah. I think if I were to make a change to that, I think I'd be putting Fiore in for Danielson, but going 3 centre mids and Marcelinho behind the striker. But that's just me.
Right, so predictions for this one, Dan, and in the chat if anyone's got any predictions in there, let me know. What do you think, Dan?
Well, Vikings haven't had anyone scoring 2 or more than 2 for or against this season, so I'm going to go for 1-1.
1-1. I think Greasy would take that at this point. We've got some early action from Penza. Looks like the Vikings have put pressure on, but time's flying past quite fast. Celtics come into it a little bit, but it looks like it's Vikings with the upper hand so far. Still no goals. Yellow card dished out there. Coming towards half time. And that was pretty uneventful. We've had 2 shots which have blown off target. I think that's probably the worst I've seen for a while. But I'm guessing that's kind of what Mr. Grieve might be after.
What I was wondering is obviously, does he have anyone making forward runs? I mean, if it's all no, that team's going to go nowhere. But
well, you'd imagine so, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd imagine so.
You've got to hope there are some. I mean, Greaves, he's won Super League. He's won the Super League. He's allowed to do what he wants now because he's done that, and I haven't. So yeah, fair enough. But Cannavaro looking very, very strong despite the 7.
Yeah, I've not seen Jens yet.
Jens is in the chat, but yeah, he resembles the last 4 Viking house of football.
Yeah, so yeah, Jens, what are you going to do, mate? It's difficult to break down that Celtic side so far. Do you imagine he will make changes, or is he going to stick with it for a little bit longer?
I mean, the Ado no tackles out of 4 is of slight concern, but I mean, Bischan, Ado, not a huge difference. He's saying drop Ado up to Walker in centre mid, please, and centralise Desai.
Okay, yeah, Greaves is in there with a nothing as well, so he's got Tomasi playing well. Everyone else is doing average, and Lucio's having a stinker. So Ado moves up.
Yeah, Ado up to Walker. Centralised Desai, that's it till 68. I think he's probably got that license to go further forward now, having seen Greaves' team.
Yeah, I agree with that move. Right, so we'll kick off. I'll try and remember to stop on 60, which is quite difficult to do when I'm trying to talk and read at the same time. But when Penza was broken the deadlock, his 5th of the season, the time jumps forward, and there's a second for Totti as
69 just absolutely jumped forward there. Nothing you could do about that whatsoever.
I'm okay with 69. That's 69 for me. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Jens will make the first changes, I imagine, in terms of condition, and Penza potentially got a knock there. I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I would be taking him off with that. I think he's going to be with his injury proneness that he seems to have. Only other thing he could possibly do, put those wingers further forward and bring on Estebaria, put Robin out wide and Khor off. But I mean, it's a lot of thinking there. That's a lot of doing.
Yeah, I'll wait for Jens to confirm. And Greasy, you've got the option to do some things as well. In terms of
Fiore's got to provide some attacking.
Del Piero's tired of running around on his own.
Trezeguet and Fiore maybe coming on here. I don't know. Penza for ZZ. And that's it by the look of it.
So yeah, we'll click over, do that sub, and then come back for Greavesy.
I am going to just make sure I haven't missed anything else. I realise I'm on top messages, not all messages. No, he's only put Penza for ZZ.
Yeah. If you can keep me on track with that, because it's quite difficult. I've only got one screen, and I think I need to either change my setup or get a second screen or whatever.
I've just got my phone sat up next to the screen.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that as well. Yeah, so that's one sub there. Looks like we're done.
Yeah, he has put thanks on the end. That's usually done, isn't it?
Yeah. So Greaves has got the option to do something. He's not responded yet, so he's probably typing something out.
Fiore for Davids. Yeah, Fiore for Davids and Trezeguet for Del Piero.
Fiore for Davids. And that reads to me like it's the same shape, so we'll
yeah, I mean, Fiore for Davids does offer more. Yes, yeah, but please on the end as well. Yeah,
it's definitely the right people coming on. I would maybe suggest a bit more attack intent, but I think what Greaves is probably doing now is giving this a run to see how it does go. So I can see the sense in that.
Test the system. Tomasi's still doing a good job, and yeah, I mean Lucio a little bit of a risk there, keeping him on with not a great game and a yellow, but play on.
Okay, we'll play on. So coming up towards the last 20 minutes, some more blue and red text. A chance for Celtics over the bar. The last 4 minutes, no point in slowing us down at the moment. Totti involved again. I think that was Roberts hitting the post.
There right at the end, yeah.
Game over, and Vikings with a very comfortable home victory there. 7 shots, 3 on target, and only 1 shot for the visitors.
I'm surprised Celtics had any offsides, never mind 5. They just didn't seem to get forward at all. I mean, that shot was probably 60 yards out maybe, but yeah, they just didn't offer enough there. And I think Greavesy is worth risking, especially against a team that doesn't score many goals, but it's something he's either got to stick with or go, that didn't work, it's done.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I think he probably plans to give it a run, but he might change his mind. Seeing that, Mike Duff loving being back in his right wing back role.
Yeah,
left side still a bit of a problem for Jens. The Hoare not doing much on left back.
It's made for Boda. He's definitely made for Boda, that position. I think he could do a much better job. I mean, Hoare's good, but yeah, just not quite settled into Super League as much as maybe I hoped he did. Tomasi 10 tackles out of 13. He's done his bit.
Tomasi loving life in that gap between the two midfield, well, the 2 blocks of 4. David's having a stinker, and if you look at David's, he's actually been playing well recently. I was thinking he didn't do very well, but last season a bit average. This season he's probably stepped up a bit. But that 5's not very welcome. We'll move on.
Tato touting for deals there. Vikings got any deals left? I wonder if they do. I think probably still do, don't they?
One of the few clubs that do. I think they have, but there's not many to deal with now, I suppose. I got bored of waiting, so I just did one for the sake of it. Which I think quite a lot of people do.
1 out of league bid in, but tempted to cancel. And
Astor next.
Yes. A great result for Astor last time out.
Yeah, 2 great 1-0 wins, unexpected 1-0 wins. If you kind of read the form book as it was, and the teams he was up against. So yeah, congratulations to the Savage on those.
Yeah, look at the teams they've beaten. We've beaten Haggis as well this season for three wins against those teams. It's something to be. This is a good formation here. I'm going to say good. I mean, good to see something different.
I like it's different, and that Savage brings that difference, doesn't he? Definitely, and yeah, some of the players I don't really like at all, but I love the way he goes about his business. We've got Keane alongside Eto. I think Keane was out for one of the games. I think he might have played last game.
Yes, he's
No,
obviously
Keane comes in, so that strengthens
team's
that
wrong,
middle
Dimble,
three.
says Savage. He says team's wrong, Dimble.
All right.
I'm not sure what it is necessarily yet. Haven't
I'll just
seen.
double check. I'll go with what's in the email. Just double check that one sec. Apologies if it's wrong.
Is it Etu in centre mid, or is he meant to be in there? Yeah, it'd be interesting if he was. He might be. Mike likes to.
It's Zanetti, I think it is.
Zanetti.
Van Bommel, Zanetti, Yannicheda. Yeah, that is on the email, so that's not.
Lovely. No Jeff today.
No Jeff, which is understandable. Yes. I should have picked up on that. So, but West, Van Bommel, Zanetti, the Cheddar Boy, Keane, Eto'o, Perez, Cmsl, Salasitagi, Raymer. Yeah, that should be right. Just confirm.
Yeah, I'm looking out for confirmation. Torricelli for me. Yeah, he says sorted. Thank you kindly. Torricelli for me is an interesting player. I think he's still got something to offer in Super League. I think he's definitely somebody that with the right formation, I think he's got the versatility to come in and do a decent job.
Yeah, I'll kind of disagree with you on that one, but
that is fine. I knew people would do, but I'm going to stick my neck out and say he's still got something to offer.
Right, so he's up against PPP, who had a revival and then very much not had a revival for the last 4 matches, scoring 1 goal, losing 4 games. He has changed it up slightly again. Smith comes in, Shevchenko moves back to AM, and I think that's about it.
Dean Richards in
and Dean Richards is in for the injured Roque, who's out for a month, which is a blow. But he's got another centre back on his way, which is good news for the PPP.
That is good news because I don't really trust Kufre. In all honesty, I think Kufre is not quite Super League material. Steve might disagree, but I don't.
I mean, either. Actually, to be fair, I do quite like him, but I don't think he's ready just yet. So we've got Astor at home to PPP. I'm guessing you'll be backing your man Savage in this one.
Yeah, 1-0 again. Go for a 3rd consecutive win.
Why not? Eh? So Astor start fairly strongly there, but time skips by.
Involved, doesn't he?
Time skips by fast. Nothing happening. 3 minutes of added time, but Inzaghi has a chance, and Zanetti gets a yellow card.
Oh, nice out at the end.
And that's another identical.
That's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But 6 offsides for both teams, which is 1 more than Celtics managed last game. There's not a lot to say about that, is there? I mean, defensively, has it been good?
No, I was that bored. I picked up my phone to read the messages.
Straight away.
Swan's just saying good night, and that's fine, mate. You have a nice early evening, Swanee.
As is from Rob already.
Yep. So I'll get to this screen. I think it's the best screen.
Johnny Cader's on a 9 again. 9 out of 9 tackles.
Yeah, he looks like he's having a good run of form. He was involved last week. He's obviously in the text. I see him a few times there. Looks like he's getting really involved, especially with loads of tackles. But apart from that, there's nothing much happening for the Astor boys. So I think
it's the ghost of Alf doing the job there, isn't it? Really, in giving him a good run.
Yeah, he's had a 4.
That was it. Was that in the 4-0 defeat?
But his manager kept faith. And he's repaying him.
God, 23. I mean, that 23 looks absolutely huge for Petit, and then you realise that it's just the other players have not been passing that ball. Yeah,
and both managers have said, as is, they're obviously happy with the ball fest that is so far, so we'll carry on to 60. And it's Astor looking the stronger again. A yellow card for Richards. Keep in mind the clock now. And what have we got happening? Yellow card again. Second yellow. Richards is off. We'll do the 60-minute changes now, guys, just to make it easier.
That would make perfect sense. I mean, Richards, he's early out of life, early out of the match.
So we might get to see Kufre, or he might go one at the back.
I'd rather go one at the back if I'm honest, or even Del Vecchio on the 0.68 was a centre back, wasn't he as well?
Was he?
Yeah, defender forward, left centre on.
I know he was he was a bit of a unit, wasn't he, in real life?
He did go to the back at Roma a little while. Like, was it Barbarez at Hamburg, whatever, he did the same.
Like the Italian Darren Pearce. Right.
The
One at the back is the call. Any changes, Rob? Do you want to make any substitution or other tactical changes? Let me know. Free up top. Any arrows here? Arrows on Wellens and Ambrosini. Do you want Wellens on? Because Emerson's there at the moment. Easily confuse the two of them, I know. Yeah, just let me know on that one. I'll come back in a sec. Anything for Astor then? We've got everyone's doing okay fitness-wise and in terms of match ratings. Just Perez and Inzaghi disappointing. Keane not really getting involved. I imagine some kind of changes for Savage here.
And I'd be taking off Inzaghi, and I don't know. For me, I don't know if I'm bringing Bridges on or Locatelli and going for one up front and attacking mid.
Bridges is a match winner. We've seen it before.
He is. Emerson off for Wellens, Arrows halfway. It says here, I don't know if that's coming from Rob. So you got Arrows on Wellens and Ambrosini, but then he's got Emerson off for Wellens.
Okay.
Arrows halfway. Oh yeah, because he put Arrows on Wellens and Ambrosini.
Yeah.
Pitch.
That's fine. Yeah, cool.
Just waiting for Mike.
My hand's not quite warmed up from being out playing footy. Did a lot of standing around tonight.
Standing around. It's been horrible rain round here for the day, so don't think I'd wanted to be outside.
Right, just waiting on some subs from Mike. I think I might introduce an arrow, but do you think Mike will?
Maybe as a treat in the cup or something. Swan has put here. He has messaged me and said, "Any chance I could take the reins for him? Happy for you to go chaos mode if we're losing." So if I am here, is that all right if I do that?
That's absolutely fine with me. Yeah, Ryan's delegated subs to Maka tonight, so I'm happy with that. That's it. I like that formation. I think that's a positive move. I hope that pays off in some way, in terms of action anyway, at least. So we'll resume the match and we'll play through to the end.
Oh, chance there.
There's a chance. PPP trying to get a foothold in the game. And Smith has scored. The 10 men of PPP have scored.
It's goalkeeper positioning error.
And we'll slow it down slightly into the last 10 minutes. Rob has lost a couple of times with sending off for the other team. Sorry, so we'd be amazed if he could do this. And
Jens is only just in my background. Shevchenko.
Wellens has made the difference. He's pulling the strings in there. Sheva has scored. It's 2-0 going to the last 5 minutes. 4 minutes added on at the end, and this will be a big result for PPP.
Oh.
Slowing it down really doesn't. I don't really like it, but I might stop doing it soon.
Isn't it what happens? Players get slower towards the end of the game, so that's what's happening.
Wellens involved again. Free kick. Patifi's in, and that will be that. No, maybe a consolation or a third for Pyongyang, and that will be it. That is all she wrote.
Well played. Good
it's
second
a great
half
performance. Yeah, great second half performance for Rob and his boys. Yeah, I'd be delighted if I was him. In terms of Astor's player stats, he's obviously got a couple of defensive players doing well, but he's not created enough. He's not enough passes in the final third.
No, the shots on target, centre mids.
Substitutions made the difference he would have liked. So yeah, disappointing on that one for Astor after a couple of good wins. And Richie Wellens has been superb. He's come on.
Condola, man of the match as well. Very different. So
yeah, Candelar's not. He's not a Condola. He's not really shown up last season. This season, he's off to a really good start. He was a big player for Vikings at the end of the last save. I think he's he's one of the top left wing backs, I would say.
Yes.
Going on. Yeah, Milito's good game. Yeah, good performance. Well done, Rob. Congratulations, Rob, and lucky to Mike. We'll move on to the next match, which I have put down as Burn Bostock. That was for Swanee to have an early night. He's gone to bed already, but we'll stick with the order. I don't like to change the order now. In terms of Burn, then we've got goals galore in their matches recently. What's that? 7, 11,
Yeah,
two.
plenty of goals in there.
Goals. It's formidable form. They sit at the top of the table. I've had a decent run, so I'm clean on. But if it wasn't for that, then they'd be well clear. And in terms of tonight's team, it's unchanged, which you kind of fully expect from an Edwards team. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this, and any weaknesses that you can see?
No, for me, I don't know. Even the attacking mids, where I think sometimes I'm not a massive fan of Kuhl. Sometimes Petkovic doesn't work out for me. They're working well for Ian, doing a good job. Roberto Carlos is kind of proving himself a bit more this season, and Contra for me is one of the best on the right hand side. So yeah, very solid.
Eight
Forgot about that.
And same for Carlos. I think I said this last week.
5 assists is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the supply line of these two Sicalco that's making.
Yeah, I've not heard of that striker, to be honest. And I think he's. I've heard he's pretty good, but that's about all I know.
Yeah, he's looking very good. Really good start to the season for him. I hope for everyone in the league's sake he slows down a little bit, maybe. But that's just my personal point of view. Bostock next. Swan has stuck with the team, apart from Elbert comes in to make his debut. Montella just has a rest, he said. And Dyer is back from injury, which is a big plus, and Scally's dropped out to the bench as well. So I think that's strengthening that team. Apart from maybe Montella's might be a bit of a miss. I don't know about Elbert as a sole striker.
If Elbert does what I've had him do at home, which, to be honest, I don't get much out of a lot of strikers. I've had a lot out of Elbert. He is potentially excellent, but I don't know. For me, it's got such strength in sort of the number of defensive midfield players that this squad has got that they should be defensively solid. And Jorovic has been generally good this season. I think this one will be close, but I still think maybe 3-1 Burn.
Yeah, I think Burn wins more likely, but Bostock have got a chance. And first 20 minutes passes by. We've had some slow first half performances so far. Can we get a goal this time round? Bit of pressure from Burn. Bostock standing up to it so far. And Larson has got his second goal for the club. I think it's his second game anyway. He definitely scored.
I think he scored on debut.
Yeah, and we've got some overhead kick attempt.
Did they round the keeper and then have an overhead kick?
I didn't see that, but if that happened, then that's fantastic.
something strange anyway. Shots on both sides.
It's been an even first half. Burn have had a couple more chances, but Bostock will be very, very happy with the way that's gone.
Tato's thinking what I'm thinking. Jorovic red card coming up after.
He praised him.
Yeah, he's had a yellow in the first half, I think, as well. Kiotis not performing so far, but we don't.
He's been very reliable so far, hasn't he? He's been very good for them so far.
But Ian is he's making big changes as usual.
Yeah, ever consistent Ian. I think that's one of his major strengths is his calmness and consistency. And I don't think Swanee's here, so this is just how it looks, Swanee, if you're watching back.
Yeah, and as he's asked me to have a look at his subs, I'm not going to do anything at half time. I will, even with Keane on his 5, I'm not going to do anything at this point.
Understandable. Right, we'll roll to 60 then. And it's a bit of pressure from Burn. I would be worried if I was a Bostock manager watching this. A bit more black and gold text there.
Subs are definitely on now, and there's a goal. Ooh.
Maxim, we've scored. And condition-wise, you're looking okay for me, Ian. And ratings-wise, I think it's very solid. Just that Chiotis 5. I imagine those ratings are going to jump up in a minute once they register that the goal's gone in. I can't imagine much from Ian here. He's got some good players on the bench, so he might want to utilise one or two of them.
Yeah,
but I imagine it'll be the same.
It's going to be a copy and paste job from before, or we'll have to see. And Robbie Keane, I will be withdrawing Robbie Keane for Swan at this point. I don't think he's offered anything And it's Carlos going on there.
Carlos Jackson.
Just switch sides with Larson, though.
He's done absolutely nothing this season so far.
Yeah, impact sub.
So we swap those guys around.
Yeah, I don't see the point of making any other changes there. Giant Arrow on Saeed is my thing, not his.
Not tempted to change Elbow? Or are you going to stick with him just to give him a full run?
Stick with him, yeah.
And as is from
Wooder is he's backstage. He's nicely insulting.
Well, I'm going to bring him in then. Here he is, guys.
All right. Yeah, all right.
He's the third wheel of the Dragons outfit. How are you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, you?
Yeah, good. Your hair's looking good. It's not as wild as last time I saw you. Nice.
It's looking good, though, yeah?
It's like a Manchester kind of look you've gone for today.
You used to be in a band. What are you thinking to this match so far? Have you watching this match? No.
I've literally just turned on, mate. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
I just had a call from upstairs. One sec. I'll be jumping out for a sec.
I'll move the
Right,
well, that worked out perfectly. Bostock took an early lead, but it's no changes at 60 minutes, and we're going towards the end here. And we'll slow it down. It's a goal. It's Petit, who joined from East Coast a couple of weeks ago, and it's the Portuguese version, not the real one, but he's doing well so far.
Has Megalo's just bottled it, has he? He just absolutely bailed.
Yeah, he's got a daughter that refuses to sleep, I think. So he's helped me out there, but hopefully be back in a minute. 4 minutes added time. Could this be a loss for Burn? A rare loss for those guys. We've got a bit of black and gold text towards the end, but here comes Contra. Foul, it's a big free kick to Burn. Yellow card. And Bostock withhold it. But there's a goal. Is that Montero? It is. Pablo Montero. Burn a level late in the game. And can they do anything else? They're going to score. Oh, no. Good save from Khan. Corner ball. Khan gathers and Bostock are on the attack. Free kick. Nothing came of it. And final whistle. That was a good game, that. Good comeback from Burn after looking like they might lose it. Better team on paper. Good point for both guys, I think. In terms of Burn stats, there you go. Chiotis, the only kind of let down from what is a very good team display. What do you think of Chiotis, Wooder?
I like him, mate, yeah. We had him at Dragons, didn't we? There's question marks about him early on in a save, isn't there? But I like him, mate. He's thrown in a 5 there, but I think like Tato always says, isn't it? Any goal he can throw in a 5 or a 4.
It's been a rarity for him. He's been really solid. First season, which is not usually his thing, like you say, he was pretty damn good, and he turned up in the final as well, and the playoff games as well. Which
he's solid. He's solid. He's solid. Yeah, I like him. Obviously, home saves and stuff. He's one of the go-tos, isn't he? So
he is, mate. Yeah. Who else? Yeah, obviously Sigalko scored. Kuhl having a good game. And on the Bostock side, we've got Oliver Kahn.
Sigalko's to get on the score sheet, is it?
No, he's got a great supply, hasn't he? Can't another former Dragons keeper having a good game. It's the opposite there.
Yeah, he was actually shy for us, though, you know.
Yeah, I bought him off you for like 200 quid or something, and he actually did all right for me. But he was 35. He ended up that last season of mine. He kind of fell apart in the playoffs because he'd just turned like 36 or something. He completely
Alf Bridge kept blaming the wind. Alf Bridge kept saying, "Oh, Khan can't play in the wind." It's like, what are you?
Well, he might have a point. It's dry today, and he's got a 9, so he might have had a point.
Yeah.
Elber's a bit disappointing on debut, but I think that's a good point for Bostock. In the scheme of things, going away to Burn and getting a point is very good. So yeah, congratulations to both guys.
Is this the last game?
No, we're only on 4 of 7. We're going to put you on last.
What have been the other scores? Can you remember?
It was 2-0 to Vikings against Celtics, 2-0 to Pyongyang against Asta, who they had 10 men, and that one was 2-2. So next one on the list for me is what we've got. White Rose. Steve's here now, isn't he? So Steve is up and down at the moment. He's got a good team on paper. He is second bottom in the league. He won't go bottom tonight unless he loses heavily. What are your thoughts on the ball sack that is Steve Wright and his team?
Like you say, he's up and down, isn't he? I mean, Chris Perry obviously had a good run towards the back end of the last iteration or whatever. I don't know, the spine of the team doesn't look that great, does it? I was saying he looks good. Do you know what I mean? But looks can be deceiving, can't they? Do you know what I mean?
He can, yeah. He's got all the stats. Yeah, he's got all the stats in the right place, hasn't he?
Yeah. That was Alf Bridges, and that's the second Alf Bridge I've dropped in, but that was his mystery man when we were at Leathersford, and Chris Perry was sitting in the reserves, and it was guess the player here. The mystery man's going to come and get you, the Chris Perry boogie man. Listen, he's got some good players in amongst like some average players. I think Gary Neville at centre half. I'm not sure. I looked at. I wanted to push for Kaladze in the last sort of transfer window. I really like him. Ronnie Johnson I've had before, and he does a job to a point. He's just not in the upper bracket of top quality DMCs that flood the league. Do you know what I mean? He's not like you'll probably see them in the opposition in Haggis. I'm not going to say Juan Gomez, like, but he's not in that. He's not in that upper bracket, is he? But then Dede, I really like Raul. Obviously,
he's got two beasts missing. Lasisi and Vieira look very good on paper as well, and obviously very good players. So I think that's a big loss for him. Haggis, like I say, they've got the top DM in the league, but it's not Juan Gomez. It is Paulinho Santos, who looks pretty average. He's 32. I would not expect much from him, and he's been absolutely balling out so far.
That bubble burst, you think?
Maybe not. I don't know. He's obviously in a team that gets good stuff out of the DMs. Juan Gomez is obviously a big loss. He started the season well, but he's obviously out for a while. And Michelini is suspended tonight. So this is how they line up. Collins is the new addition. What are your thoughts on Davy Collins? Because I wasn't sure. I had the opportunity to sign him from Bostock a couple of weeks ago, and I politely turned it down in the end.
Well, I at that transfer, I really like Elber. I think Elber. I like my centre forwards to be good in the air and strong. That's pretty much my my two. And Elber does that with a bit more. Steve there agreeing with me. Yeah, I like Elber, but Davy Collins is that little bit of magic, isn't he? It's that little bit of magic though. That's why we all love Champman. He just is. I probably would go with Collins over Elber slightly.
Yeah, it's if you've got loads of strikers and you don't need Elber, do you? And Collins is a good option for them at AM because I think they've been kind of playing about with that role. Scholes has done all right, but I think Collins gives them a goal threat and he's good behind a two, in my opinion. I like him in that kind of one behind a two with the arrow on. I think he can do really good things there. We'll give him number 15 and we will submit and we'll play the game. So, White Rose at home to Haggis. What are your predictions for this one, mate?
Not bothered, mate.
Not bothered, yeah. I thought so. I fell into that trap. As I asked it, I realised what he was going to say. Dan's back.
Albert is good in the air, mate. You want to check him out. I know he's a dwarf, but he's good in the air. You want to check him out, mate.
Who was
right,
Who was checking out?
Albert. Yeah.
Height doesn't matter on here.
It doesn't, does it?
No, it's not even written to the game.
Jumping's important, in my opinion. We've got some White Rose pressure early on. I think they look good so far. Vesterveld with a save. He's been awesome for the last couple of seasons. And what else is happening? Getting towards half time, not much action again. We've had some shit first half so far tonight.
How did Bern Bostock finish?
2-2. A late Montero goal.
Oh, so I'm unbeaten there, so that's good.
What are you doing then? How come you're unbeaten?
Swan wasn't around tonight, so he asked me if I could take charge. So
Swan asked if he could nominate album of the day number 310.
It keeps me entertained, that one. It's not about album of the day. This is about Super League.
Do you know, I wouldn't be bothered, but I've never heard of one album you've published yet.
That's the point.
I've heard the music. I've heard the music. I was
Yes,
about
the
to
music. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
They
I
were
like
in there.
music. Yeah, I do like music.
What's your favourite music album? Mine's probably the best of the music.
Definitely the best of the Beatles for me. Yeah, that's a great album.
There's a decent first half on White Rose there, by the way, just so you know. We've got no shots on target or at all from Haggis. And this is how you look to see.
I imagine that Campbell is not claiming that first half as his own work. He's saying that was all rocks.
Yeah, White Rose are playing well. They're on top, so of course Steve Wright's making a change. Tony from Mackay is the swap with Raul. I mean, it's not a bad change to make. Mackay's been a little bit disappointing this season so far, and Tony has barely had a chance. I presume that's Ixty, and Haggis stats are looking like this. Yeah, Paulino Santos doing it again. Actually live, looking decent, but yeah, they're not creating much. So potential changes for Haggis.
It was on a yellow for White Rose. Did Perry get in the book?
Yeah, Perry and Dede. Perry's had a bit of a quiet game so far.
Yeah.
So Haggis, I think it's rocks tonight. So we'll.
He says, "Bring up the tactics screen for us, plus."
No worries, mate. There it is.
He likes the Figo sub, doesn't he?
Yeah, he said that Figo's made a difference, and he has done a couple of matches. Yeah, I agree with Tater there. The first half's have been one goal in 4 first half so far tonight. It's not easy to commentate anyway on some like very fast moving text, but when there's fuck all happening, it's even worse.
Jumping's more important than heading on this. Definitely.
100%, yeah, I agree with that. Do you reckon Rocks will go one at the back of the year, or do you think he'll wait a little bit? Because I'm guessing that's the kind of thing that's on its way.
I would go as is. I think he's got a couple of 8s in there. I think obviously the debut glitch. Davy Collins he's bound to get one, isn't he? It's 1 shot, 1 goal. So
Not thinking Mendes.
I'd be tempted to stay as is. I wouldn't be. Have White Rose really done much?
Well, they've not had a shot so far, I guess. So I would be tempted, and Rocks isn't usually one to stick around if he's a.
What was that a question about this match or this season?
What was the question? I forgot.
You said, you said, have White Rose really done much?
You're on the jammy room. You're on the jammy room, lad. You're on the jammy room.
I'm on a what's that one with the little kangaroo on it?
No idea.
Tailback. Tailback.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Something tail.
I haven't drunk wine for a while.
Something tail's got a little kangaroo on it. I had to drown my sorrows after watching Liverpool in the Champions League.
What was the final score?
Can't remember.
1-0. 6-2.
Right, so we've got Medina to MC, arrow forward, Mendes to where Medina was, undo, cancel. We try again. Medina to MC first.
Move Mendes to where Medina was.
Yeah.
So
okay, that'll be to do with player instructions. That's smart, I suppose. In terms of arrows and stuff, Rocks, just let me know if you're happy with that, or do you want me to stick the arrow on? Or swap those over?
Was there a definitive answer on like the team instructions and stuff mid-game? Or
yeah, we're not doing it just because it takes long enough for people to make subs as Rocks is kindly displaying for us tonight.
So I then then swap Mendes and Medina and bring on Figo for Medina.
See, Macca's talking about Virgil van Dijk.
Figo for Mendes. Sorry, Figo for Mendes is what he's now said. Yeah, good. Yeah.
He wanted the arrow there, didn't he? He said arrow to start with, so just again confirm the arrow.
Yes. Move Medina to MC and stick an arrow on him forward. Move Mendes to where Medina was. Move Medina to MC first. Then swap Mendes Medina and bring on Figo for Mendes. Yeah. That would look right. Arrows off the run DMCs.
Can we run now? I think
That will be the album of the day tomorrow.
It's like that, and that's
perfect tar.
Was
and that's perfect tar. Is that the lyric? Is it
the new
it's
album?
It's like that, and that's perfect tar.
Steve made changes already, didn't he? Yeah, cool. We'll go. Right, so crack on. Can White Rose make the dominance pay? It looks like they're still pressing forward. And Tony gets a goal in 51 minutes. So it was a good sub from Steve. I doubted it, but I shouldn't have done because he's come on and scored.
There should be no shadow of any doubt with Steve.
And a bit more pressure from White Rose, and they're looking quite good. Ronnie Johnson's having the game of his life.
He's hoping for a Ronnie on 10 by the end, isn't he?
Like it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so anything else, Steve? I think I'd be tempted to keep it as is, maybe put on Gio for Julian Guerrero just to solid things up. But
punctuate it, Steve, as well, so we can read it.
No, there's no need, Steve. We'll all have to just put our Steve goggles on.
I really rate Van Bronckhorst, to be fair. Like, I really do rate him. Like, I think he's a bit of a waste there. Obviously, he's got Dede.
He's played MC a bit this season. He's been pretty poor.
He should be good. Him there. It's really hard to get a good MC, isn't it?
Yeah, MC is one of the trickiest positions, and an AMC followed closely behind.
Dr. Kamalo is probably one of the best.
Probably. If you started in the conference, maybe.
You won't come to the conference.
And yeah, Haggis have recently made a change. It hasn't made much difference. It's probably opened up the game a bit more than they probably wanted. I can't see. Maybe Shearer comes on. He's done pretty well for bench this season. But yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Morientes isn't offering much, is he? What we got? Stickline that's left centre back. Yeah, I'll read these to you as we go. So Lythe at left centre back.
I can't see that.
He's just come through. Stickline at left centre back. Santos lone DMC, no arrow. Medina left centre mid. Figo right centre mid. Shearer for Collins, sticking between the two up top.
So three up top.
Cool. I haven't seen any news on any arrows for centre mids, so maybe none.
Yeah, just again, I'll let you confirm on that one, Rox, and we'll go in a second. Yeah, looks good to me. It's a bit of a weird one going back to two at the back after kind of abandoning it like 15 minutes ago, but I can see why he's done it for sure. Oh, I'm fucking stiff in my old age here.
What have you been doing?
I was playing five-a-side and
you sent it off, Dimble?
I was tonight.
You strike me as a big, tall bastard of a centre half.
No, I wasn't a bastard. I was like a bit of a silky.
Arrows on all four centre mids.
Good touch for a big guy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know about my touch, but at least I was calm and I did get under control. Yeah, I wasn't a kicker. I don't think I ever got booked in my whole playing career, to be honest.
Naughty rocks.
Yeah, I'm going with that. Yeah, cool. Waiting around for a while there. So we carry on, and White Rose come forward again. They're looking.
If you were to liken yourself to a footballer, Dimble, like playing style as Medina
ball. I was like a Carrick, I would say.
All right, mate. All right.
Morientes injured. Anderson.
Figo. Where's Anderson?
I thought you were trying to liken me to an injured Morientes or something.
No, I think you're like a nice sort of inside forward. Then, yeah.
I played when I first started. I was like a right winger, but then as we formed Dynamo Mega Horse back in the Sunday League, then I did play up front with Mr. Quinton as well. He was up front there as well.
Can you see? Was he calling me a cretin for not bringing someone on there that he didn't ask
Anderson for Medina, you cretin.
He didn't ask that, did he?
No, he hasn't asked for it.
Oh, you're a cretin.
He hasn't asked for it earlier. He's put Figa. Yeah,
it's a good job as well because he's got an injury 10 minutes later. So yeah, we'll go with that.
That's an interesting one. Anderson for Medina, you cretin. I did ask for it. Well, I
not
don't know
low
where
odds.
this is.
No, it's not on the screen anyway.
No, there is no. There is. I mean, there isn't one
can't see.
in the live chat. We've got Anderson for Medina Ukretin came after you'd restarted the game from Haggis saying naughty rocks, but I mean, you wouldn't have brought Anderson on for Medina because Anderson would have been playing centre mid at that point. So, anyway.
It's not there anyway. And
No,
it's
not there.
going into the last minute, and it's 1-1. Ferdinand yellow card. Raul free kick. It's the wall. Will there be a late drama goal? Figo, Shearer? He can't do it again. He did it last week. He can't do it again. And that looks like that will be that.
Question for you, Dimble.
Go on then.
Do you think both teams will be happy with the point, or do you think both teams will think it's 2 points dropped?
I think both teams will be unhappy with that one. I think they both want to win out of that one. What are your thoughts on that? Especially when you see the stats for White Rose, they'd be very disappointed. And obviously Haggis have got away with one a little bit there. Cretinous management, in my opinion.
I don't know, because like at the start of the game, obviously Steve saying he agreed it looked a bit weaker than he's normally put out. I think he'd probably be happy with the point. But the way the game went, probably not.
Fair point. Tony's come off the bench. Raul's got man of the match. Some key passes. Not a bad set of ratings for Steve and the White Rose. And Haggis, they got away with one a little bit, one shot on target, and they've come away with a 1-1 draw. And there's a few 8s, but there's a few 6s as well. Not too bad, but that kind of would be worrying for me if I was a Haggis supporter or management team.
Or a White Rose goalkeeper.
Yeah, what's he got? That'd be hard to
he just conceded the only shot on target, so.
Right. I'm going for me next. So it's casuals first. Yeah, casuals.
So have you got a league at the minute, Dan? Are you doing like a league? No.
Me personally?
Yeah. Are you running anything?
Real life
you normally
or
have something.
Oh yeah, mate. I'm still kind of doing my massive Premier League thing of 16 teams, but I'm also messing around a lot. That's probably the best way to do it. I have lots of ideas and then never seem to do anything with it. I'm actually playing ISS Pro Evolution on the PS1 a bit more.
Well, sorry, that's really interesting, but what the fuck am I looking at here?
Well, he says it's gone a bit flat. He's not 1 in 3. Clive there is on 88%, so he's not made the team or the squad tonight. And Hodgie has gone with this, which surprised me when I saw it. Wasn't expecting that at all. Veron with the backwards arrow from striker. It's an interesting application of Veron. 3 centre-backs, 3 DMs.
I mean, it's a weird one that Dan Megahorse loves, isn't it? Just like a real mad arrow backwards.
It isn't an arrow I can say I've used before, but and I've not used Veron as a striker. Well, any form of forward player like that. But I mean, he's versatile. He's going to have to do a lot of running, and I mean, that's probably what I've got to say about it. If it works, what an absolute masterstroke this is. If it isn't going to work, then it's what people expect anyway.
I wasn't looking forward to this match in general. Like going away to casuals is a tough one. When I did see this, I was confused, but also very scared, like a little girl in a horror film.
I think individually, the players that he's fielding are like top class. Do you know what I mean? You need some good names in there. I don't know. It's just absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, in terms of, I've gone 4 in a row, which is very good. Obviously, Henry's a little bit light on his condition, but I've gone with it anyway, and I've gone completely unchanged. Same tactic as all season. What change did I make? No change.
So a few pundits and whatnot have been a bit negative on Arnold. How's he doing? How's he actually doing this season?
He's not done great. He's got a couple of assists, but I'm going to stick with him for now.
He's not on Trent Arnold. Fucking shite, mate.
Quite a few players have been, quite a few pundits have been getting at Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. What's the deal with him playing?
Yeah, with Brugging, when Brugging joined, His
Haggerson,
stats were really low, so I thought if I keep playing him, he might jump up a bit. That's the thinking. Anyway, we'll go on to the match. What was Haggis doing?
no, Haggis and Roxall, Ian and Roxall know we signed a young guy, a Scottish right back. He's meant to be the successor to Trent. I think he's called Cameron something or other. Played for Aberdeen, and he was like young player of the year, whatever. But he hasn't had a sniff. He's meant to be like really good, but he hasn't had a sniff.
Because Milner
So
plays
that's why
more.
Trent plays. We haven't got any of the right backs. We played James Milner then. He's 37.
Injury.
Right, now obviously with this, there isn't a centre back option on the bench, but that's
Yeah, Sorochinski will be the cover for that. So I would
he
imagine
could
Could
Nagore could
Cambiasso
come
not
on.
go in there?
or he could
No.
change shape potentially
I
as
don't
well.
think so. I could do that.
I've not seen him in the chat, but sometimes he's lurking, so I'll give him a minute. If not, I'm going to just keep the shape and
Sorochinski and Nagore into the team. Has he played this season? Oh,
Nagore.
surely.
No, he hasn't.
It would be a debut.
Yeah, I think it's the only option, unless you were to change the shape, which I'm not going to be changing any shape. An opposition team.
Calvin Ramsey. It says here, Calvin
That's
Ramsey.
him, yeah. Calvin Ramsey, yeah. Yeah, was that a kick? Signed him,
Hodgie,
right?
Sorochinski, Sorochinski centre back, Nagore defensive mid.
Do you want to change Sorochinski around or just leave him there, mate?
Rob Douglas has intrinsic negative 3.5 for centre back in the hidden database. That's true, Jens. Yeah, same database that I've seen here as well.
We've gone through to half time, and it's another shocking first half. Look at that.
You
That
have
is the
loads of
worst.
them games, Kimball. You have fucking loads of them games.
I don't think I've had one where there's only one shot though. That's worse than usual. But yeah, anyway. We've got not much
5%.
happening, so ratings are low. Lawson looks like he may be deed. He's on 5%. Yeah.
Just because Jens has just messaged there, I need to tell him that I went to on Saturday. I went and met up with 60 Pokemon trainers in person in a park in Sunderland, and we all stood around a statue and looked at our phones and caught rare Pokemon, and then
What
just
was the
left
police
without
presence
saying.
there?
No. I actually told our lass. I said, "Oh, we're gonna go. I'm gonna take the burn in the pram. I'll just walk through as it's happening because they happen at a certain time." She was like, "Just make sure there's no nonsense there." I was like, "Look, I can't guarantee." But it was 60 nerds. I include myself in that. 60 nerds stood around a statue in Sunderland, catching a Pokemon that isn't real.
Well, this isn't real, so it's all right.
There's levels of isn't there?
Yeah.
Right, I've just put a couple of hours on. I'm not making any sub changes.
How long was Martin Larson injured for in real life when he had his long-term injury?
I've got
He was
no
out for
idea.
a fair amount of time. I think it cost him his, Milan. Ended up at Villa and whatever, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's a big drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially at the time. So we carry on, and it looks like casuals might score.
Subtime.
So we're at 60 minutes. Condition-wise, you are looking okay. Ronaldo's a bit low. You might want to think about that
It's
one.
typical, isn't it?
And everyone else is playing okay. Hodgie, I'll let you decide if you want to do anything. Personally,
Is your sub goalie coming up available soon?
yeah, potentially.
Oh, yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I don't want to get rid of him, but if you've got something interesting,
I tried to input on the transfers at the Dragons, right? But there were 2 sanctioned that I wasn't even aware. Well, there was 3 sanctioned. 1 that I would never have ever voted for, and I got outruled by Hopkins and Duggan. It was a Gerrard transfer for I can't remember who, Liz or Azu, maybe I can't remember. And then the other 2, we just decided because the 2 super chairmen. How do you title yourself? One of the gang. Consider
Overlord.
yourself one of. How do you what?
The Overlords.
Yeah, so one of the other overlords just asked for David Prutton, and he decided to go, "Oh yeah, here's David Prutton," and me cock up your bum. And then another one. It was the preseason friendly. Triple P fielded Lucas Radaby, and I was like, "What the fuck did you sign him?" It's like, "All right, yeah, we just give away Lucas Radaby now or whatever." It's like, fucking hell.
Well, I'm
Don't know
pleased
what
you're
my point
talking.
was
There's
anyway.
nothing happening here.
Yeah, it was a good job that there's something to talk about.
3 minutes have it on. I think Hodges' formation has completely squashed the life out of his game. Can he nick a goal late on? Is there Roberto lost his man volley? He couldn't direct it. That would have been an absolute sickener for me, and it's gone to the final whistle. Yeah, that formation has completely nullified anything I was going to do.
You
To be
could
fair,
not
it's
pull
not a
breach
bad
their
performance. Yeah, not a bad performance from casuals. We've got some good ratings in there as well. So yeah, I think it's worked in terms of getting a point, but I think I don't know how long you'll stick with that one. It's not exciting enough, is it really? I think Hodges has always been one to kind of look for goals. With me,
A tactical battle, but one of the worst Super League games there probably has ever been.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to apologise, but
what would you be happy with this season, Dimble? Obviously, you did well last year, went all the way to all but, and pipped at the post thanks to Maxim Sagalko and all that. What would you be happy with this year?
I'd be happy to kind of get a couple of playoff games, but obviously I want to win it. That's the aim. But if I don't make the playoffs,
don't we all, Dimble? Don't we all want to win it?
Well, I've got a chance at least, unlike you.
6 goals conceded is still very good, isn't it? So, yeah, you're tight.
Yeah, Silvestre, man of the match, had a good performance with that run out to the left back. A different kind of setup, interesting in some ways, but in other ways, it's completely killed the game. But congrats on the point, Hodgie. You played, mate.
And Dan, what would you be happy with this year?
Well, we're already champions of the continent, so I'm absolutely fine. Doesn't matter what happens now. We're the first.
It's one of the best continents as well. American Samoa were very tough.
Yeah.
Fulchester lost the last game.
They scored.
I tell you, he was shite for us though. Yednev was shite, wasn't he?
He did all right. But I mean, ZZ Roberts got 10 goals in 4 games, so we were fine.
Yeah.
All right, back to the action then. Zanetti is on the longest brown injury I've ever seen. It's longer than the time I had brown pants all week in fucking Benidorm that time.
Brown injuries. It's the
we've got 2-1-4-1-2 here. And Nakata out wide. Ashley Cole's unlucky to be dropped after having some good performances. He's obviously not going to be playing on the wing tonight. Thoughts on that shape? It's obviously a common one now, and the players he's got in. And a little word for Janino Paulista as well. What do you think of him?
Shite, Janino. I'll tell you for why. It's just too weak. It's just too weak. Click his physical stats.
Where is he?
Back on him. I know you've had him up. Strength 9.
He's not the worst, 9 for him, but the balance is an issue, isn't it, with no strength?
Yeah. He's got his passing stats and whatever else are good, but in the Super League, he just, especially in that sort of AMC role, midfield role, you're just coming up against absolute hatchet men who are just going to just beat you to shit every game. Seedorf in there, even sort of Di Biagio, they're just going to bully him.
Yeah, I mean, those attributes would suggest that the wind would blow him down, which is probably not the best.
We'll see if it's breezy in a moment. This is how Gazelles line up. It's a familiar formation. We've got Phil Neville, the glitched Phil Neville, coming in at left wing back.
A gap back in
as well. The Gap's back for suspension.
And is that what he missed it for?
Adilson. Yeah, so he's dropped his front two as such, and he's gone Altamudo and Adilson, which is an interesting move. Obviously lost a bit of patience with the guys that were in there, not doing much. Up and down from Dan so far. You kind of win a couple, lose one, win one, lose one. So he'll be looking to kind of get some more consistency. But he sits in a good position in 6th at the minute.
Macca said he'd have put Prutton in there. That's interesting, because I always thought Prutton was a centre half.
I've never played him in a centre back.
Yeah, the way Macca played, he always liked a kind of a defensive hard worker alongside his Riquelme, didn't he? So I think that's probably what he's
Yeah.
referring to, and he probably would do that job pretty well. In terms of this match, I won't ask Wooder for a prediction, but Dan, any thoughts on how this one's going to go?
No,
bothered?
I think it'll be. I think there will be very few goals again. Oh, there's one already. Wonderful.
We've got a goal in the first half. It's Temudo after 7 minutes. I think that might be his first start. I'm not sure. Although I won't click on him in game just in case it annoys somebody, but I think it's his first start. Fulchester not done much to come back into it so far, but they're always dangerous with the talented attackers they've got. 3 minutes of added time, it's gone pretty fast again. We had an early goal, we've had nothing much since, and here we come. A chance for Gazelles at the end. I think it was a good save there. Yellow card, and we have some shots. Wooder, what are your thoughts on how that went? Is that as you expected, or
I would like to have a look at Janino and see if he's putting himself about any.
He's got strength 9, jumping 5.
No, in the game
Simeone lost a little bit of fitness there. He might be carrying a bit of a knock.
He's failed to win. He's failed to win a header or a tackle.
Yeah,
he's intercepted
2
it a couple of
interceptions,
times,
and he's being fouled.
Yeah.
A bit disappointing. Macca's on sub duty tonight, so he's got the chance to bring Prutton on for Janino if he wants to do that. Let me know, Macca, in terms of condition, you look all right. And I'll go over to Gazelle stats as well.
The other thing, like the Dragons here where we got drafted.
Janino off of Prutton.
Is it? Yeah. That year we got drafted at Batistuta for Dragons, and they were like, "Oh, but Batistuta season 2 can't do it." It's like, yeah, you absolutely can. More than I think at the time we were playing fucking Salva and I don't know, fucking one of Hopkins's mad ones, Salva and no, not that bad, but no, he can still do a job there if called upon. Is Carew still there?
Carew's at Vikings.
He's moved, I think.
Moved?
Yeah. Carew's at Vikings, yeah.
Oh, he was on loan, wasn't he? Was he on loan?
Half. I'm not sure. No, not this season. We had loans this season.
No.
He hasn't. I think he's moved at some point. I'm not sure what the deal was, to be honest, but he has moved. And that jumped. Sorry.
It was a big. Prutton just missing then as well. Southgate again playing well. He has been pretty solid this season.
He's been good. Simeone's struggling a bit with his condition, but everyone else is fine. And I imagine we're going to see some potential Macca magic here, and he'll change things up a little bit. Batistuta's sat.
It was Carew for Placente.
Yeah, I think obviously the way Macca played, he didn't have any wing backs, did he? So that's probably out of necessity for Ryan. Batistuta on the bench. You could see him. Cole unlikely to come on, but he could do, I suppose. I imagine we'll see a 3 up top here, which is the Macca way. What would you do, Wooder, if you were in charge apart from going to this screen and move people around, what would you do?
Batistuta for Nedved, 3 up top. Arrow on McCallum.
Well, what about Nedved out to the left and Alex off Batistuta?
All right, mate. 2 intrinsic for me, that. I think 2-3-3-B.
Two changes. Hey, dishwasher's done. Look at that. Wonderful.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, thanks for that. I'll load that after I've done the packs.
Whose is that, Beepin? Is that mine?
No, it's my dishwasher. Yeah.
Oh, right,
Mrs. knows what's happening and she puts it on anyway.
The tale of 2 dishwashers.
I used to have mine on for.
It's a strange beep, that, Dimble. Does that not piss you off?
That's a lot of beeping.
It is, yeah. Does that not piss you off? It's quite a nice kitchen, though. It's not up there with the Gazelles, but it's quite a nice kitchen, lad.
I think it's pretty good.
You still get work done on your house when you're getting an extra bedroom put in and that? Was that long ago?
No, I didn't do it then. I got a new build, mate. We end up moving to a new build, so it's all done for me.
2, 1, 4, 3. Lovely.
Yeah, so just confirm that Nedved for Riquelme.
Yep.
Then AMC
on there. Yep. And that looks like it would be right for me. Well. Yes. Good.
New build.
I think that UK is an autocorrect from one of his rants on Twitter, probably. Right, Right, so we'll go with that. And then Gazelle's, I don't think he made a change yet. He's going to stick with it.
Yeah.
It's probably a smart move given the situation in the match. It's pretty even. It's very even, in fact. So
New build. Oh.
Whoa, did you see that?
That did nothing. Nothing
I
happened.
pressed the button to slow it down and it was over.
I mean, just look at the report from the last. Yeah.
Yeah, make a substitution. Riquelme was brought off, and then the fourth official indicated added on time.
And that's why Maka came back for this game.
Yeah, he's probably not overly enamoured with that. They did have a shot in that time, but I didn't see it. that was a mad last 15 minutes. Congratulations to Dan and lucky to Maka and Ryan. It's an even game, which Dan edges in this occasion.
8 key tackles, still not enough.
Yeah,
Southgate with a superb performance. Peruzzi doing well, and he's game in as well with Frey injured, I believe. And yeah, it's a pretty meh performance. Really, got a couple of okay ratings.
Prutton's done well there. Prutton's as well coming on.
Yeah, he's put himself about a little bit. He's got a few touches of the ball. Agat has been flying. I'm regretting him letting him leave. Sorry, he looks really good.
This one doesn't count.
Pretty fucking. It's pretty average all round, and it's a 1-0 win though, which you'll be delighted with. Unlucky Maka. This one doesn't count down. Yeah, it's the it's the rivalry that kind of don't know where it came about from, but it was a rivalry, wasn't it? Right, last game of the night, and then we can call it a day. And we've got Dragons at home to Badgers. So we'll start with the Dragons. First,
that would be in real life.
Talk me through your role in the team and why are they ignoring you?
No, they don't ignore me, mate. See, go back to the squad. Go back to the squad.
I'm just looking at your recent results. So you obviously got a result. You got a win and a couple of losses, and then we'll win 4-0 games. So what's going on here?
Bazari, Bayer, Hagen, McInnes, Foe, Reyes, not Minero, Keown. They're my players, pretty much. Or maybe not so much. Yeah, definitely Foe. Definitely said Foe. Go and get him. They're my players that I have said, let's go out and get them, and we've gone out and get them. There are other players that aren't. I wanted to transfer back in the summer. I was outruled. I thought we'd get value for him, and he's done fuck all this season. There are other players that are the sort of Jose Reyes retraining thing is a home save favourite of mine. I always do. Put him in. Click on him.
Yeah, he looks like he's developing well. He's always the one that when I
good, yeah.
If I ever have Robin on a home save and I once sold him for 100 million and I went and bought Reyes for 30 million or whatever it was.
Yeah, and the retraining to Central is like a home save sort of I do every time. And then we're bombing to man out the goalkeeper. Yeah.
He does play well.
So it's got but to be fair as well, the tactics Duggan picks.
Did he have low off the ball there? Is that what I noticed? Has he got low off the ball like 10? Or have I misread that? Yeah, he's not going to be great.
Yeah, he's got really strong passing, crossing.
Shut up, Dan.
He's just not going to. He's not going to get you goals and assists by that. It's just going to happen.
Shut up. No, at the so Duggan does all the tactics and all that kind of stuff and whatever else, and I just sort of sit there and go, mate, what are you doing? And just challenge him a little bit, but it's not so much like to be a dickhead. It's just to
check the circles.
Yeah, I don't do the tactics, mate. Don't worry about that. It's just to sort of play devil's advocate with him and say, and what I did actually say to him, I think the trade was it Lizarazu for Gerrard in the summer. Was that the trade?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I think
we bought in Dyer and we sold Roy Keane for Lizarazu, maybe.
And then Njai it's not worked out yet.
But what I said was, if you're getting rid of Roy Keane, don't get rid of another central midfielder. So what did they do? They went and sold Steve Gerrard. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why have you done that? Because you got Lee Bowyer and another in there. And that's why I'm like fucking scrounging around for Derek McInnes. And it's like, well, that's the best I can come up with. So Foe's not going to do a job in there. And it's just one of them. So that's my role. Hopkins does fuck all, pretty much.
He's a
but
real
you
man.
like have him there, like you just have him there. He will be watching. He watches every game and comes back on
Does he?
and sends
get
a little
get
sticker and
involved.
stuff in the chat. Yeah, but he
Hopkins,
just
I would love to have you on the show as well in a few weeks if you can.
he actually told me to tell you he'd hate to be on. So
Really?
no, he didn't say that.
What, just with me? A personal
No,
attack.
he didn't
might
say
be.
that.
Anyway,
Of course he
Booth
knows
Town Badgers have been pretty boring. They got smashed last time, the time before, and I think they won 1-0 last time. And they've got Imar in this central over an hour now, which is interesting. Apart from that, it looks pretty familiar. Rayard starts on the left, Agahawa on the right. Mega Horse, what are your thoughts on Badgers this season? Been pretty non-event so far, hasn't it?
The one time they scored more than one goal, they conceded 5, so that's not great. Then again, the team is getting built around Tato, developing from players that purely he likes to players who actually might be good. So it might turn around over the course of the season. Tato says it's very boring. I'm not sold on Gustavo Lopez. I never have been sold on Gustavo Lopez, but you know,
I think
a lot of people
he's got good players there. Like he's got match winners in his team as well, and you know some of the players who are sort of there's question marks over. So one of them, Joey Good Johnson, I rate him. I think he's really good. Like I really do.
He could be good.
Could be.
The worst thing to me is the team name is too long for the screen. It should have just been Badgers.
Booth Town Badgers.
You just did what you were told, didn't you? You just did what you were told.
Me? No, I probably should have. I wasn't involved fully, was I? I was just taking the instructions at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. The team name just too long.
It's a pretty even first 36 minutes, and we've had another boring first half. It's gone.
Tato isn't convinced by Lopez either at the moment. Oh, there he is.
Thank you for the co-commentators. And then Constantine.
Oh, it's disallowed.
I was impressed with the way he looked, by the way. I really liked the look of Constantine. Is he your number 9 for the rest of the save? Or you
should have made the font smaller.
He talking to me about Constantine.
Yeah, is Constantine the number 9 for the rest of your save, or are you looking to upgrade at some point?
No, he's proven that he puts 12, 15 goals in a year, so that's all you need when you got Ronaldinho, obviously, and you want more from back. That's the only thing. Ronaldinho obviously put in double figures. I think back might have touched that last year as well. So.
My little one is awake. Come on, say.
All right, mate.
I'll drop him out. Yeah, Badgers are making no changes. That's how they're looking, just so you know. Tato, and I believe you're doing the subs and changes for.
Yeah. Duggan's unavailable tonight, so let's see. Ronaldinho looks decent. I might be tempted by switch up back. Yeah, switch up back for Sism Kowiaki, whatever he's called.
Kowiak. Yeah, cool. And leaving it like that, no other changes.
That's it. Yeah, just the personnel. He's under the spotlight.
Tato's saying Imar for sale, which is interesting. I've just used my final deal. Obviously, can't do anything yet at the minute anyway. But it's an interesting one. Imar will have some takers at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, too many 20s to not get taken, any.
We'll take it through to 60 minutes now, and time is rushed by again. What's happening here? A bit of pressure from Badgers, and we'll do the subs now on 59. And Enrique's gone off injured, so Goran Vlahovic looks pretty tidy actually. I quite like the look of him. He's probably the option that he'll go for, but I'll leave that with you, Tato. And any other changes you want to do, mate? This will be the final tactical change of the game.
Go on to ours while he's typing, then I'll just stick. He's seen it all, hasn't he? He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Go on. I'll stick two Bosfeld on for Bosfeld off for Manero. 2 up tops, 2 DMCs.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that, mate. Forward arrow on Ronaldinho to the centre. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. You got the chance to respond, Tato. Vlahovic, please. That'll do. So he's happy with what he's seen so far, and I don't blame him. It's been pretty comfortable up to 59 minutes. and they are dominating so far. So we'll go through to the end now in what has been a pretty standard night, low-scoring affair in the
Slow
league.
it down, there, my lads. I'm trying to read.
Ronaldinho scored 66
There's my
minutes.
forward arrow magic.
Good tactical changes here from on the second of the three dicks. Van Nistelrooy goes to the top corner. Is that a bar or over the bar?
What do you think of the goalie, Victor Bayer? Solid, isn't he?
He's been really good, yeah. I think keepers in general have been pretty solid so far.
Man, you fucking cock, Tito.
RBN has scored after 79. It's a big goal for the Badgers, and Dragons look to be continuing some pretty poor form.
Fuck's sake. Tato, man, fucking prick. I don't fucking mean that, but
4 minutes added on. No need to get abusive. It's ticking by, mate. He's absolutely nullified yet. But will there be late drama? Sinkovic comes forward, right-footed, fine save from Casillas, who came from the Dragons, I believe.
Fuck off. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Because we put a bit more pressure on when we made the subs, but
yeah, no, I think they were decent changes to be fair, but it's been a pretty, it's a very good performance from Badgers. They've dominated it. Disappointing from your guys. You've got some good performances mixed in with some bad ones. Sinkovic got involved off the bench, but Maniero less so.
Yeah, the subs are all right. Do you know what I mean? Kalashny's shitty. Well, in that he's not. I do like him, but fucking hell, man, destroy on a fucking 10. What's happening?
Yeah, rude. He's heading everything that moves. He's had lots of shots on target. He's even tackling. He's loving life on the Tato at the moment.
Good game, Worms.
Shout out to Comuna. I think it was pretty decent.
Listen, he was when Tato in AFCON, I know it's not to be named, AFCON on the Super League, but he was Egypt, wasn't he? And the rule was if your player gets injured or suspended or whatever, you can kick him out, but you have to bring in the player of your nationality. He brought Kamuna in, and he was tackling like 20 tackles a game. It was absolutely fucking crazy, to be fair. He's decent. He's decent.
Yeah, he's one of them I've had a few times. Never thought that much of him, but he's absolutely holding his own in the Super League. Which
is he at that same club as Saeed and all that? Is he at the start? Rayed Al Saeed or whatever it's called.
I'm not sure. It doesn't say so in here. I'm not sure. Right, so reviewing tonight's action, it's been pretty low scoring. There's a few teams that are blanked. So we started with Asta getting beat by the 10 men of Pyongyang. Dean Richards sent off, but Smith and Shevchenko scored the goals. Dragons fall at home to the Badgers. Van Nistelrooy on fine form. Gazelles matched Fulchester in their game and managed to sneak the goal with an early one from Tamudo. Northern Burn came back with a late goal to stop Bostock, who, to be fair, didn't really deserve the win, but 2-0 was probably a fair result. Oliver Kahn, man of the match. Vikings comfortable at home against Tortuga and Penzance. Totti with the goals. No shots on target for Celtics. Hodgie managed to completely kill a game of football and absolutely shut me down completely with a 0-0 there. And last game here is White Rose, who with a better team by far, but Haggis, they've got some resilience, got some character about them, those lads from up north, and they get the 1-1 draw. So the table looks like this. We've got Burn on 20 points, Coast second on 19, a bit of a drop down to Haggis and Gazelles on 15. Vikings and Casuals make up the top 6.
Burn, man, just free scoring, aren't they? What are they? 7 ahead of anyone else in terms of goals scored after 9 games.
They are,
they conceding about normal, but they're just just goal machines.
From a like a selfish point of view, you hope they peaked too early, but they look very good so far. It's been very impressive. Bottom of the table, Celtics, Rose get a point and move away. Dragons.
Fucking Dragons. They're scoring the amount they should be. They're just not defending. They just need Martin Keown back in, I think. We've started playing Hagen
better start than last season, as Duggan would quickly point out, a better start than last season. To do that again, you don't want to fall too far behind, which you're not so far. You're only 4 points off.
No. I think the goal scored, obviously, like I'm saying, goal scored is up there with the apart from obviously the 7 ahead of us, and it's the second highest in the league. It's goals conceded, and then the rub of the green. Do you know what I mean? So even when you score them kind of goals, you kind of that one goal needs to fall in your favour. It'll happen at some point. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I think you've obviously got the base kind of tactic file that works. So I don't think there'll be any panic at Dragons HQ. Next week, these are the set of fixtures. Where are you going? You're going to Bostock, which is a tricky one. What else is happening? I'm hosting Astor. I've now got 4 home games in a row. I've played a lot of away games so far. I've got 4 in a row now, which is odd. I've not seen that before in the Super League. There's some more good games. Hopefully there'll be a bit more action, a bit more. Was no cards tonight. Oh, there was one, wasn't there? So low on cards, low on goals.
Dean Richards, was it? Dean Richards?
Yeah, that was the only one. Last week
Show us some player
5.
stats. Show us some player stats, Cmsl. Stop being sly.
Paulinho Santos is still leading the way.
That was Cafu last season, wasn't it?
There's never any of my players in these. Never. What else we got? Goals. Sigalko leads the way as we would expect. Clive had a rest tonight and he's on 8, and then it's a mixture of people behind him.
So you Constantino there is mixing it with the big boys. You know what I mean? The Van Nistelrooys, the Henrys, and whatever else. You can do it, man.
Assists. Carlos has been on fire this season. He's averaging an 8. He's got 6 assists from 9 games. That's very impressive. And then a whole host of people on 3 and 2 behind. What else we got? Keane's got 7 yellow cards, and I think he's only played 7 games so far. The core with 2 red cards. Pass completions, a load of junk. Yeah, I'm always at the top of that. Tackles per game. Gareth Southgate has been a busy boy, getting his waistcoat muddy. Loads of tackles from him. And a surprise one there, number 2, your boy from the Leathersford days.
Another mystery man, yeah. Who's this? I'm going scouting for you, and he came back with fucking Kiana Cheddar. So fucking what?
It was probably in someone else's.
And he was about 35 at the time.
Cambiasso with the most dribbles, which I've looked at Cambiasso. He looks very, very strong version of him.
He's hit or miss, isn't he, on saves? Cambiasso.
And there's a few quite high ones. I'd say that kind of averaging over 4 and 3 is quite rare, actually. I think usually you probably only get a couple of people doing that, and then it'll be a lot lower. Shots on target doesn't really mean much, and we've done average rating already. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Thank you kindly for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it. And
I'll do another one. Just don't make it on the Champions League, mate. Or actually, you can do from now on. The rest of the season.
I'll give you the call. If no one else does, I'll give you the call. Don't worry. It's been a pleasure. I offered you when you got sacked in disgrace, I offered you an assistant manager job, and I've not done that. I've not offered that to anyone, so that kind of shows.
You offered me an assistant manager's job at.
I think I said. I'm offering it now. No, don't want you fucking now. No, you tainted.
No, I didn't fucking. Did you at the time? Did you?
I think so. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. I think I did.
You just pitied me.
I only remember because, like I said, I've not made that offer to anyone else. I don't think. But yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks to Dan Megahorse.
All right, mate. And Megahorse. I don't think he's.
To the chat. Yeah, cheers, boys. Thanks a lot. I think it's Duggan on Sunday. I believe I'll do the packs now. I think now. Congratulations to the winners. Unlucky to losers, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Ta-ra, mate.